The only shade I'm giving is the shade coming from my halo. Not all bears eat berries and fish. I prefer a diet of bourbon and bad behavior. Hello!
I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear. And welcome to the Real Housebears.
I can't wait for this podcast to stop doing this reunion so I don't have to see your guys' face anymore.
Yikes.
Or that little bitch boy you have over there either. I don't want to see either one of your faces after this ever again. Canceled.
Canceled. I would like you to be a little bit more Beverly Hills, please. Could you be a little bit more Beverly Hills?
No. No, that's not going to happen. Me and Louie are going to live a life of
hate in Jersey.
No, happiness. Love, love, love. I think that's the code word that we have to use. Love, love, love. Yes, yes, love, love, love.
Well, I don't know how you're feeling on the inside, but your hair looks adorable. Teresa's reunion hair.
I know, but I almost said that came from my back hair.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, they got that from my back hair.
No.
Didn't cost a thing.
No, Teresa looked so cute with that short reunion hair.
I did like her hair really short. It was cute.
I agree with Andy, though. Like, this is the best that especially the Jersey women have ever been dressed in a reunion, across the board.
Really, really nice dresses.
The only dress I didn't really love was Jennifer Aydin's, and it's not like I hated it.
Same with Margaret's. I didn't get to see Margaret standing up. I only saw her sitting down, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
but
it's not a good sitting down dress, but it is a good standing dress. But you have to think about those things for the reunion. You're going to be seated the whole entire time. Mm-hmm. You have to think about what it's going to look like being seated the whole time.
It's really true because because a lot of dresses when you sit, they really, really lose their appeal.
Yeah.
Or the effect that you're trying to get if it's like a long
Because
design.
I remember standing up, Margaret looked great.
Okay.
I
think that happens every season too.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about what it's going to look like around your shoulders because that's going to be on camera a lot, and you're going to have great shoes and think about what you're hiding when you're sitting and what you're showing off when you're sitting. You have to really think about those things.
I would go for comfortability because they're like sitting there for 10, 12 hours.
These women don't
having
go for
to sit up straight. Like, I couldn't
They
do that.
do not go for comfortability.
I would show up in like a jeans and a loose t-shirt with like a couple gems on it to make it look fancy.
I don't know if you'd be a very popular housewife then. Yeah, raked across the coals.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe people would be like, there you go, Hunter.
No.
Fight the man.
We tune in to the reunion to see what kind of dress they're wearing.
I mean, you can dress in cotton really pretty, can't you?
I don't watch Summer House, but I just saw the reunion looks for Summer House, and I will say they are the worst, most hideous reunion looks I've ever seen on any Bravo reality show.
Really?
I'm going to have to show it to you. I was like, there was maybe one or two looks that were good, not incredible. I couldn't believe how horrible these women and men looked.
I'll take her Amazon dress and wrap it around her.
Another reason to not watch
the show. Yeah, I'm just not into it.
Today we are recording before the Vanderpump Rules reunion episode 2.
We're very excited for the reunion episode 2 of Vanderpump Rules. Oh my goodness.
I haven't stopped thinking about it since I watched episode 1.
How many times have you watched the reunion?
I watched reunion episode 1 3 times.
I'm sure it's got to be 4.
Like a good Christian woman. I watched it, last week, right before we recorded this podcast.
I never should leave you alone in the house anymore, because all you do is binge watch Bravo.
Well, then I had to watch the Peacock version, the uncensored version.
Which was really good.
It brings hearing the curse words makes it a whole new experience, plus a few extra minutes.
Yeah.
And then this weekend, while you were gone, I had to watch it again, and because I didn't really watch it that closely, the Peacock version the first time, I just kind of casually watched it. So I had to zone in a little bit better and really not miss any of the nuance, not miss any of the James Kennedy of it all.
Don't miss any hidden eggs or in there Easter eggs that might be in there. Something that might be hidden by Bravo that nobody else is going to notice except for really Bravo sleuths as yourself.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe I'll watch it again before tonight's episode.
Oh my gosh.
It's about me be happy.
So, speaking of, last weekend I was home by myself, which is a very, very, very rare occasion because you were shaking it up at the International... What is it?
International Mr. Leather competition.
There's a dirty, dirty dog.
International Mr. Leather is a competition that is a weekend-long competition in Chicago, and it's the oldest and biggest leather gay competition in the United States, I know for sure. But anyways, there's just a lot of events going on that whole weekend, from Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah, it's not just a competition, it's a whole event.
Yeah, there's a vendor mart, there's different activities,
Festival,
there's kink classes, there's just so much stuff that you could do there.
Lots of men in leather walking around, no shirts.
So I had our little adopted boy Colin there. He had driven down there from Cincinnati. And, or was it Cleveland? I can't remember. I think it was Cincinnati.
He lives in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati. And we went to the vendor mart. It was a lot of fun. I got a shirt and got Corey stuff. And, oh yeah, I'm wearing the shirt right now. Ooh.
You are wearing the shirt.
It's a bear with a cigar in his mouth, y'all. That's me. Anyways.
I'm wearing the shirt I got at DragCon of Madonna. Oh, I'm gonna fall over, see? Queen. So, anyway, go ahead.
Anyways, I danced at Furball, and I danced for Cunt Tea.
Dirty.
And I'll be back 2 more times in Chicago. Actually, I'm going to be traveling a lot this year. Do you have your phone on you?
I don't have my phone on me. I thought
I have my schedule on your
phone where you're filming us.
Yeah, so that's why I needed your phone. That's why I sent you my schedule.
Oh, I didn't know you sent it to me. I'll go get it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Deedle dom and deedle dwee.
Now that I have my schedule, my next event is June 3rd in Salt Lake City. We both are going to be here for the first weekend of June for Salt Lake City Pride. And then for June 9th, the next weekend, I'm going to be in Nashville for Meetup and possibly a Timberfell little pop-in.
You'll have to let our friend Justin know.
Yes. And then June 16th, the next weekend, I will be back in Chicago for Grizzly. And then June 24th and June 25th, Bear and I are both dancing at Barracuda for San Francisco's Pride and then Denver's Pride the next day. So July 29th
We'll just stick with June, yeah. That's a lot in June.
Yeah, so we're going to be busy in June.
So in short, you are going to be in a city near you every weekend in June.
San Francisco, Denver, Chicago, and Salt Lake City.
Yeah, so that's pretty busy. And then, also in the month of June, not only am I joining you for San Francisco and Denver, I will be on work trips every single week during the week. So
we're going to be passing each other like ships in the night. So I'll be probably leaving on Fridays, coming back on Mondays, and you'll be coming home on Fridays and leaving on Mondays.
Yeah, so that means that it's going to be real tough to keep the podcast going, but we're committed to it.
Yes, we can't miss 2 weeks.
We're going to Zoom it in.
Zoom it.
Do whatever we can, but that also means that our schedule might be even more inconsistent than normal. Like last week, we were a few days late because of my work schedule. And that means it might not be as produced. We might not have our sound bites. We might not have, the sound bites and the editing.
Are you serious?
We're still hilarious. Are you kidding me?
I am pretty funny.
See? How funny that was?
So stupid. Do you want to get into this reunion?
Yeah, which was not funny.
No.
That reunion, episode 1, was not
It was
funny.
to be honest with you, I was kind of bored through the whole thing.
Actually, I got very few
say.
sound bites in this episode because it was, I normally try to pick out the clever, reusable sound bites, but this one, the only thing that was funny was when Margaret was talking about Bo Deedle, and she's called them Dweedle Dum and Dweedle Dee.
I loved it when Melissa's like, I'm able to forgive and forget, and then Teresa's like, I'm able to.
Oh my God. I was like, neither of you really are. Well, again, I thought they all really looked great. I love the set. I was dead
haunted castle
over the haunted
pictures, the
paintings.
portraits.
Yes.
Yeah, the haunted portraits in the haunted castle in Ireland. I thought that was beautiful.
I hope to God those women get to take them home.
Oh my
That
gosh,
would
I would
be
bring them out every
the
Halloween.
greatest gift imaginable.
That's cool. I mean, what else are they going to do with it?
Put
They're
them in
never
the
gonna use
Bravo
it again?
Museum.
No.
But I really hope the women get to take them home. That would be the best gift ever.
I'm hoping for the best, preparing for the worst.
I love it that when Teresa comes out, she has people holding her train.
You know what? I loved her look from head to toe, but I don't know if the train was necessary.
It wasn't.
I really didn't. I don't know if that was supposed to make it look more formal, but it was a beautiful jumpsuit.
I loved how short her hair was, though.
Yeah, I mean, they all really. I mean, Danielle's dress was a little bit much for me, but it was beautiful nonetheless.
It looked pretty hot. I liked it.
Jennifer Aydin's just was a little bit matronly. I don't know. It just wasn't all that.
I loved Rachel's color.
Yeah, that big yellow.
Yes, it was very pretty. I loved Melissa. I love it that she came out in a boxer's
Ready to
look.
box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
boxer's look. I thought that was smart.
That was really smart.
Mm-hmm.
They get ready to start, and then Joe Giudice calls
I love it
Teresa.
that he says it's Lucky season 13, and as soon as he finishes that, then the phone rings.
That's weird. That is so weird.
And he's asking about bags under his eyes, that if Bill does that, and it's actually for his uncle. Because I was like, how is he going to get to the States to get that procedure done by Bill? So it
That
makes
was my
sense.
exact first thought.
Yeah,
too.
so it makes sense.
Right.
It's for his uncle. But now Joe is still doing good, and he's got multiple ladies.
I love that when they put the captions on, they put "use" Y-O-U-S.
Use
I'll talk to yous later.
talk to uses later.
I loved it. I loved that. Apparently, Paul has a slippery house. I thought that was strange.
Well, I guess if you have socks on all tile everywhere, and like that's really nice tile, you do slip a lot.
Okay.
Like we slip on our fake hardwood floor.
That's true. I just love when Andy went and addressed every woman. First was Teresa, your hair looks great. It's not your wedding hair. And then Dolores, apparently Paul has slippery floors. I was like, weird.
Okay.
And then Danielle, you don't look fresh out of the hamper.
Yeah, I mean, you don't look like a rat. Rachel.
Yeah. Melissa's working on her home.
Oh.
The ring light burnout.
Yeah,
Again.
the famous ring light
We gotta get a
burnout
better one.
just happened to us just now in the studio.
Hot Pockets!
Jennifer Aydin woke up with a stiff neck. Mm-hmm. She's wearing blue to ward off evil. Mm-hmm. Margaret did not leave her arsenal at home. Mm-hmm. And Rachel, again, appreciates not being called a rat tonight by Andy. So Andy wants to dive right into Teresa's first, and her heart's about beating out of her chest.
She grabs his hand and puts it on her breast.
I know. He was like, what is she doing?
No, give me your hand. No, your other hand.
Like, what is going on here? But she makes Andy feel her chest. He was like, what in the world? Andy asks, what is Teresa and Melissa's goal for today? And how
Ending the chapter. Ending it. That's
Yeah.
all they care about. They just want to end it.
Yeah, preferably in peace.
But they want it to end.
Yeah.
They don't want to
just
see each other ever again.
Doesn't seem like a future.
No.
Yeah. So when Teresa's like, let's act like Beverly Hills, I was like, do you not think that the ladies of Beverly Hills don't talk over each other?
Right.
Have you
I didn't
watched-
understand why she said that.
I guess just because she thinks the Beverly Hills women are more refined. But I don't know. In a reunion,
Teresa.
a reunion, all bets are off. Now, I did have a hard time following this reunion because I felt like it jumped to a lot of different places really quickly.
Well, like, first, Teresa started saying how everyone hurt Louie, and then Melissa says, well, you try to ruin my life multiple times. And then, like, it went straight into, why did Dina bow out of the camera? And I was just wait.
Where did that come from? Apparently, Teresa and Dina are doing just fine. There's no issues there.
But Andy said that they were taking pictures and vacations together until that announcement came that she wasn't a bridesmaid, and then they stopped taking pictures together.
Maybe it's just coincidental.
I don't.
But David himself, Dina's husband, has said that there was no such phone call with Joe. But Melissa is saying, well, David's saying that because he really did not want to be on the show, involved in the show at all. And so that's what he's doing to, like, remove himself from it.
Yeah.
So lying, in other words.
I don't know anything.
And then Teresa claims that the Gorgas never invited her over to dinner while she was living at home, being single. And then we see pictures of her being invited over for dinner. I mean,
It's just insanity. She's just like, she'll just grab onto anything she possibly can.
and then Teresa blames Joe Gorga for bringing Louie on the show. And Melissa's like, are you kidding me? Louie was like, let's show up to filming.
Yeah, like Louie literally was saying, let's just drive down there and just show up for filming, which proves my point. He sat there, he looked to
He
see,
knew Teresa
he
before
knew
this.
Teresa before any of this happened.
watched the
He
show.
found a way to get her under his wing so he could get on the show because he's a fame chaser. He wants more of it, and he's going to screw up so bad in the future, and he's going to take Teresa down with him.
I sit down with people.
And that's when Teresa's like, tells Melissa that she's really off the show.
Yeah, she's like,
we can't coexist.
sorry,
so
you're
bye.
gone. You're the one that's going to leave the show because this is my show. I had my birth on it. I had a wedding on it. I went to jail on it. But I mean, it just shows how much being an OG means to these ladies.
To Teresa.
and
Like I said,
alone,
Teresa will
because
stay on the show just to spite Melissa.
Teresa created what is the show now.
Yeah, she did.
For all
she did.
franchises.
So since we're talking about this, you know, since we know already at the very beginning, there's no way they're going to be coexist.
No.
So somebody has to go, Teresa or Melissa. Now, if you think of logistics, it makes more sense to get rid of Teresa. Because if you lose Teresa, you only lose Teresa and Louie. However, if you lose Melissa, you also lose Joe, which means that you also lose all the guy scenes.
Yeah, because none of the guys are going to hang out with Louie, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Who wants to watch Bill, Aiden, and Louie hang out?
Yeah.
So,
But it's tough. It's tough though too because Louie and Teresa are huge characters on the show. Could you imagine them just running wild on everyone else there? I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see the Gorgas leave, and then see how Teresa starts treating everyone else there on the show, just to see what it's like.
I'm like so shocked.
that's another
And
fair
Louie
argument.
too. I want Louie will probably get into fights with all the other guys. Louie will probably be the first house husband that creates housewife drama in the men's section.
Well, I think we'll find out next week that there is drama between like Louie and Frank and things. So maybe there is an argument on that side too.
Yeah.
I don't know. But when Teresa says that Melissa will be out of her life completely after tonight, everyone is stunned.
She's gotta be out of my life after tonight.
It's horrible. We just watched a family breakup.
Like, no one knows what to say.
Yeah, like, what do you say?
And as long as Melissa and Joe are married, that means that there's no way that Joe and Teresa can make amends, you know? Whew. So,
Let's go on to something a little bit
lighter. Lightheaded. The hair that broke the internet.
which actually made it a very heavy head.
So Margaret really did get really emotional at Teresa's wedding, both for like Teresa's happiness and for the sadness of her family not being there. But Margaret is already worked up about the Bo Dietl stuff, and she already like wants to start talking about it. And is like, hold on, we'll get to the Bo Dietl of it all.
Yeah.
Everyone can tell that Dolores is like a changed woman.
The Dolores and Paul side is the lightest and funnest part of the show.
Yeah.
It's the only lighthearted part of the show right now.
I mean, one of them even said, you can tell Dolores is like, you can't, there's nothing you can do to bring her down right now.
And I love it that she's like, I'm so mushy and stuff right now. I hate it.
It sounds like you.
It does. She's so mushy and in love. I love it.
But, you know, Dolores is like, I'll always be there for Frank. You know, Frank will always be my family. Mm-hmm. We just have to look at our relationship in a new way. We have to, you know, respect new boundaries and respect each other's new partners and things like that.
Yeah, and Frank will learn to fall into that new life without being afraid of it going away completely.
Frank will get over it.
And after all, Frank's got David.
I know Frank's living with David. That's so funny.
Still living with David. The kids are still like talking to
with
David.
That's so crazy. I guess David's just a really good, influential person to know in the industries or something. But
as much as it seemed that David wasn't around, it's surprising to me
how
that
much
they're
he's
so close.
still around. Yeah,
just that they're so close in general. I don't know.
I had no idea Paul was not divorced.
I know, but you know, separated for 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, and plus it just didn't happen.
Yeah. I had an
I've
ex
seen that happen.
that they just kind of waited, and well, even actually with my ex, we just kind of waited till we had to. Mm-hmm. You know. When we get to the commercial break, we find out that Ben wants Andy to have another dad.
He's like, I want another dad. So Andy's like, I gotta go get a daddy.
I know. Is that what you think all the time? You want another dad?
So I gotta get another dad.
The more dads, the better.
I mean, a different dad instead of not additional dad, a different dad. Then we go over to the Danielle package.
Danielle, you're up.
And the first thing is they just bring up what a slut her daughter Valentina is. I was like, I can't believe y'all are slut shaming Valentina right here at the beginning. She's a child. You cannot slut shame this girl. If she wants to have 5 boyfriends.
Remember that episode of Stupid Dirty Slut episode of South Park where Paris Hilton comes to town and she opens up that shop called Stupid Dirty Whore or something like that. Dirty Stupid Slut or something. And all these little kids are like running in there and stuff and like, you're such a slut. Oh my God, thank you.
See? So I didn't appreciate the slut shaming and I'm not going to stand for it.
I guess that's what the new bougie place is. That's that dirty...
In the gay world, if someone has 5 boyfriends, it's just another day.
It is just another day.
Just another day. So it's been about 3 years since Danielle's seen her brother. Do you feel like this being Danielle's main storyline is just a weird storyline?
Well, I told you in earlier episodes, I was like, Drew, I said that this storyline of them fighting seems very forced, and it seems almost like they're just creating drama that isn't there and making it drawn out and more than it is because they need to make an impact on the show. It's their first season.
You know what? I don't know if I really agree with that. I feel like it is a real thing in her life that is causing her as much pain as it seems. I just don't know that it's a storyline that I care about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the rat situation.
No, I'm talking about Danielle and her brother. I just don't know if I'm interested in that storyline.
It might turn into something later on. That's probably why.
I hope so.
I'm not very
I like Danielle.
I'm not interested in either, and not even knowing what her brother looks like or who he is.
Yeah, never knowing anything.
I can't identify at all. But finding out that Real Housewives of New Jersey is his favorite show. Gay.
Yeah, that's why he's not talking to his family.
That's why it's because he's gay and he hasn't come out yet and he's ashamed and it's turning into anger.
And he has a wife, so he can't come out.
He can't come out.
And
I've seen this multiple times.
When I know from personal experience, when I couldn't come out, I just hid away.
And cut out the people that you'd have to tell.
Cut out the people that I love the most.
Yeah.
So you heard it here. You heard it here first.
Yeah, her brother's gay.
Yeah, we
Can't
outed
come
him.
out.
We know it for a fact.
Oh my goodness, we just outed him.
And there's no way that he can deny it because we have the scientific evidence.
Gaydar's real.
Right.
And I could do it just from hearing stories about
Yeah.
somebody. That's how strong my gaydar is. And both of our gaydar together, it's called super gaydar.
It's cosmic.
It's cosmic.
So.
Oh my gosh, we are so stupid. Oh my goodness.
It's disgusting. It's total mean girl mentality.
But Danielle did hope that Margaret might have an arsenal against her about her brother, that she might find out why her brother is mad at her. And I'm like, really, Danielle?
You think Margaret called your brother
Really,
to get
Danielle?
dirt?
Really? This whole arsenal story is stupid too.
Jennifer Aiden would call your brother to get dirt. But I don't know that Margaret would.
Exactly. That's what's irritating stupid about it.
And then this is where we talk about Danielle being able to forgive but not forget. And that is a theme for this cast. And I was like, that was like an aha moment for everyone. Like, you're right. This is very much a theme for this cast. And that's when both Melissa and Teresa are like, well, I'm very good at forgiving and forgetting. I was like, y'all, none of you.
I just wanted to be like,
None of ya.
can you please roll the tapes on Teresa not being able to get over something?
Jennifer Aiden hasn't forgiven Margaret for last season. Or was it last season?
This season and last season, it's both.
I didn't know if it was maybe even 2 seasons ago. It's been a while. And then we talk about how Melissa and Danielle had a moment this season, but it really just didn't go anywhere.
But Teresa thinks it was just her trying to lure the new girl on her side and stuff. I'm like, Teresa, my God, that's such schizophrenia, paranoia right there. My goodness.
It's just being mean. It's just being mean. And then what about Margaret and Jackie making fun of you, Danielle? And Danielle's like, look, I like myself. That's where really it is. And Margaret's like, listen, Danielle, you really did have a good first season. You got your endorsements.
Oh my gosh, and the endorsements go out. Jennifer doesn't need endorsements because if the show left, her life would still stay exactly the same. Yeah, it's because your husband makes all the money.
Margaret
Anyways,
cannot help herself.
I know. But I love that Andy's like, I have endorsements. I love my endorsements. Endorsements are the best.
I just, like, literally, Margaret cannot stop herself from making snide comments about Jennifer Aiden. Like, she just cannot
I love it.
help herself.
She's pathetic, obsessed, and embarrassing.
I'm glad, though, that Margaret saw the scene of Rachel and Danielle talking.
And that it wasn't that serious.
Yes.
That's what I was talking about, was this whole conversation of the rat thing. It got blown out of proportion, and it wasn't even a big deal in the first place.
It was seriously, like, Danielle gets really worked up this season. She even gets worked up in this reunion when she's like, you're the biggest bitch
Oh
in
my
the world.
gosh, her and Rachel are like yelling at each other.
Everyone is like, this really wasn't that big of a deal. Like,
Even
it
Andy
really,
was like, this is really stupid, to
And
be
that's what
honest.
I thought the whole season.
Me too.
And I think, and you know, they did kind of squash it in the finale, but then you have to talk about it again at the reunion, so it gets you worked up. But I think that it's going to really be squashed pretty soon. We wrap up
With a truce.
Yeah, and then we wrap up this episode. It's almost over. We're already at the Melissa package.
We're already at the end. Oh.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So we move on to the Melissa package.
She builds a new home.
Fuda Tiles did their floors.
Who did their windows? Dr. Seuss? That was good, huh? I didn't even have that written down.
Good for you. That was good. Melissa was a difficult client because she changed her mind so much.
But Fuda was an excellent tiler.
Yes. Tylista.
I think that's a girl Tyler. I think it's just a tiler.
That also will make you an
Tyler.
espresso.
You're so dumb.
Why did Teresa shame Antonia for not attending Melania's Sweet 16? Teresa said, well, Rachel asked me that question because Rachel was setting me up. It was a setup question. I shouldn't have answered it. It was a setup question. I mean, this is one of the best deflections I've ever seen.
I mean,
ever.
But you said you were the one that she didn't ask anything that was going to be damning. You could have just said, yeah, they're still friends and they still hang out every once in a while, but sometimes right now they're fighting, so they're not seeing a lot of each other. Instead of blaming the other person's child for creating this rift in the family. That was you, Teresa. That was
only
you.
Teresa can
deflect that.
A question that's between her and Melissa and throw the blame over. But bam, surprise, Rachel Food is going to take this one.
She's the best at it. I don't understand. It's so confusing, and that's why it works so well. It's because you're so baffled by it and don't understand it that all of a sudden, tag, you're it.
Then we find out that Jennifer Aiden is hanging out with this Laura person.
Of course she is. Oh, and she's like, we're not friends. We just talk. We just talk a lot. No.
Shady McShaderson.
Yeah, whatever.
That Laura is your own personal Bodito with information about Margaret.
I did notice that Andy said that Melissa talked bad about Gia on the podcast and stuff. And I just wanted to say, well, Gia goes online and stuff all the time and talks bad about them constantly. And she's an adult now, and they're just probably retaliating.
And
but
really,
I still
all
don't
they
approve
said
of
was
it.
that they have hate in their heart towards them.
Yeah, and they do.
That's all they said is that Teresa's kids hate the Gorgas.
I haven't seen a single bad thing come from Melissa and Joe's kids. Said anything wrong.
So that's
nothing.
not really...
I've only seen the Ambien sisters talk bad.
That's not really talking poorly about the girls. It just says those girls hate us and we know it. That's all it does.
Talking about not being able to let go of a grudge, Teresa brings up about how Melissa got on the show because Teresa was on the show to start fights with her. I mean, Teresa, you just completely ruined your case. Like
about forgiving
and
forgetting.
Like, if she ever had to go to trial for anything else other than this, if she ever tried to, like, stand up for herself, she would go to jail forever. Because
Even the other one are like, are we really talking about this again?
I know. Even some of the, I think it was even Dolores that said this is such an old story.
Yeah, like
Mike,
how are
Mike, that
why
just
are you still so? I mean,
it
to be
just
honest
shows
with
that
you,
Teresa has never given Melissa a chance.
I mean, and not to mention the rest of the cast that you started the show with, they're all gone now. Melissa has helped keep your ratings up. There's as many people, maybe more people, that are Team Melissa that are Team Teresa. It's insane that you have to hate her for it.
But Teresa's saying all this crazy crap. Andy it looks like he's going to, like, jump off the bridge because he can't handle these women yelling at each other. Like, did you see him just, like, sit back and just, like, blankly stare off at his face? Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Because Teresa is saying the craziest, oldest, bringing up the oldest crap ever and contradicting everything she has said.
But what got his attention is when she brings up Jacqueline Laurita, who the last time they were on the show together ended as horrible enemies. Horrible enemies. And and that was after they had reconciled from becoming enemies before that. But now you're going to listen to everything that crazy-ass Jacqueline Laurita has been telling you, who obviously, just wants to get in on the action and has a vendetta against the Gorgas just because.
Teresa.
Because.
I mean, Teresa is doing the most to hate the Gorgas.
And to now, cliffhanger, blame them for sending Teresa to jail.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean,
crazy.
This episode wasn't fun.
No, it was serial.
It was so serial.
It was serial.
Oh, I got the hiccups.
Well, I'm serial that y'all need to follow us on social media.
Because I doubt we have any new reviews.
We don't, I looked.
Oh.
This was a super short episode. Well, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We are The Real Housebears. You can follow us on Twitter, where we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You can buy Real Housebears. You can buy Real Housebears merch from realhousebears.redbubble.com, and you could watch us on YouTube and Spotify and probably somewhere else. Just Google us. And you can listen to us wherever you're listening to podcasts. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star rating and a cute little review, and we will make you hashtag Housebears famous. Yeah, have a wonderful, fantastic day.
We'll be back as soon as we can.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Is on for a sound check. Oh, you already turned the video on.
Yeah, because I'm good.
Is that why?
That's why. Check your beard, check your facial hair.
Looking fly.
Check your head hair. Oh, you don't have head hair. Right, go with your head hair. Check bags under eyes.
Check got glasses to hide all of that.
Need some filler.
Need a trip to Beauty Lab and Laser.